Hey everybody, it's Joanne here from Design with Jo. It's been a while since I've been here, so I'm glad to be back. It's Facebook Live time again, and I have not done a Facebook Live for almost a month. So I was away, and then things sort of got in the way with having some family here, so I'm glad to be back. Okay, I think, am I ready to put you down? Yeah, let me just show you the card we're going to make. And so this is our card, and we made this one, or I had this one on the blog. This is hard to do when I'm holding it with one hand and I'm pulling it the other way. So it just pulls out here, and the inspiration for this card came from one of my team members, Anita Towns, who made it in the Feels Like Frost, and she made it for a winter wedding that she's attending. So this is the design we're going to make tonight, but we're going to make it different. I need your help, so everybody stay on and get your fingers ready, because when I ask, what color would you like to see, I usually take, sometimes I say I'll take the first one. Sometimes it's the whoever is 2 or 3, so I want your involvement there. So here we go. Okay, so here are those 2 cards. So I showed you this one. This one here, I wanted to show you too. This is all done with the Garden Lane paper. So how you can turn some paper that is not Christmas into a Christmas design. And this also is the Brightly Gleaming, and these are the blends here. So this one is done with Petal Pink berries, so a very soft kind of berries, and this is soft sea foam, and this one here is a little more bold kind of look, and these are Rococo Rose berries, and this is Old Olive, and although there isn't really Old Olive in here, there is Pear Pizzazz, and I also just colored some of the vintage trim, and that's what's back here. So I'm going to show you exactly how to make this, but here's where you have to make some decisions. And I want to show you at the end too our Brightly Gleaming, my class that I have. So I have a creativity kit class right now, and I want to talk about that too. Okay, so Brightly Gleaming paper. Isn't this a great way to showcase it? So we do these in Karen Duke's meetings, and I think that she gets the idea. It was Chicken Scratch who actually has this, and I've just lost her name, and Judah. So what we do, this is a sample of every single one of the papers. And so what we have to decide is which paper we're going to use. And I decided on these 3. So you all need to let me know. Are we going to go with baubles, which are very coppery baubles? So that is the first choice. Second choice is, are we going Night of Navy with the copper stars? That's second choice. Let me move those over a little bit. And then the third choice is this, it's not really a trefoil design. What would you call this design? Because I can see the flowers in there, but I can also see sort of circles here when I look at it a different way. So we're going to call this trefoil just to be easy. So which one do we want to go with? We're taking the first 3 people. First 3 people. So 3 people are going to get their fingers going there. I have one already. Oh, I have, well, Jennifer, you can't vote 2 times, but she called them ornaments the first time. She called them baubles the second time. She's trying to trick me. So she's trying to say, 2 votes, but let's see. Betty's going for baubles and Karen's going for number 3. We need, now we have trefoil. Okay, number 3. Oh, we have 3 for 3. So Karen and Rhonda and Roz, you guys picked this guy. Okay, perfect. Next thing is we need to pick our cardstock. So are we going for Old Olive? Marie, sorry. Are we going for Night of Navy? Or are we going for Pretty Peacock? So which one are we going for? Again, I need, this time, the 2 people. First 2 people that have the same answer. So it's Old Olive, Night of Navy, or Pretty Peacock. Which color are we going to go for? Oh, that's okay, Jennifer. She voted ornaments before I called them baubles. So sorry, they are actually ornaments because they're much more elegant than baubles are, aren't they? So we have 1 for Peacock. We have 2 for Peacock. We are going with Peacock. Okay, I'm going to put this guy away. Okay, I'm just going to put this aside for a moment, and I'm going to pull in my trimmer. So this is the new trimmer, and I'm not going to talk a lot about the new trimmer. I will do a live, or maybe not a live, but certainly a video on it to let you become a little bit more familiar with it. I've been playing with it for a little while now, and I do like it. It's got some improvements, I definitely think, over the previous trimmer that we had. It's now available for purchase for customers, and I've had a number of customers that have gotten it. And what's really nice about it is that it cuts. It has a way better cutting blade than the old one. And you don't have to press. So that's the only thing, is that you don't want to press this one down at all. Okay, so here's what you need to do. We're going to score first. Okay, so we are going to score our paper because we need to have our paper cut in half this way. Okay, so it's going to be cut in half that way. So we need to score it this way at 5.5. So you're first of all going to score it, and I've got my, I'm just going to poke that down. So I'm going to score, and this actually does score a little bit nicer than the last one. You can see a much nicer score line than we used to have. Going to move that out of the way, and I'm going to now cut. So I'm going to cut it in half at 4 1/4. So I need 4 1/4 by 11, and I need 2 pieces of them. Okay, so I've got my 2 pieces. Now what I'm going to do, if I can get that guy off of there, I'm going to lift it up again, and I'm going to just cut off this right here. So just this top part. Here's my score line, and I'm going to cut right there. So in order to do that, there's 2 ways you can do that. You can put one point into here, and you're going to put the other end, which is the score line, right in this channel. So there's a channel in here which is a lot smaller than the old one, and I'm just going to put that in there, line them up. And of course, because I'm talking, it's I'm moving it every time. I'm going to close it, and then I'm going to cut, and I'm going to cut that piece right off. Don't need to press really hard on this guy. So I have that piece, and I have an extra. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. And I'm not worried too much about which way I'm cutting, because I can always fold on my score line one way or the other. So let me just get a point in there, and I've got my score line in there, and this blade works great both ways. Okay, and that's scrap, and here's my other one. And then while I still have the cutter out, I'm also going to do the same thing with my piece of designer paper. So I'm just going to cut this on the diagonal, and what I'm going to do is just push that down. Sorry, I should tell you a little bit more about that. So I'm going to put this point in the channel and this point in the channel and line both those up just so that I'm cutting it directly in half. Okay, and what this cutter is great too. I don't know if you found with the old trimmer that sometimes I tore the end of designer paper because it's a little lighter paper, and I haven't found to do that I've done that here. Okay, we're done with this guy. So I'm going to put him aside. So now what I have, I'm going to take my pieces out. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold this. And where's my folding bone? There we go. I'm just going to fold that. And then I also need this one. It's going to slide in here, and it's going to fold the other way. So I'm just going to crisp up that edge with my folding bone as well. Now you can use liquid glue on this, or you can, in fact, I want to show you just before I go on, you can see here I've got a tiny little lip from my cutter. So I did press a little bit harder. I don't know if you can actually see that. A little bit harder than, because I'm used to the old one, and you don't have to here. So for right now, I'm just lightly running my nail along that, and that seems to set it down. So you can either use tear and tape for this, or you can use liquid glue. So one of the benefits of liquid glue is that you can move it around. So I'm going to put liquid glue all in here, back into my holder, and then I'm just going to place this right over top. So you want to make sure that your folds are going, your diagonals are both going to go into the middle. So that's the proper way. So while it's still wet, I can still move it around because I got it off kilter there. Okay, there we go. Brenda, new trimmer looks great. Yes, it does. Have you got one, Brenda? Okay, here we go. All right, so now what you need to do, so you can't put both of these down because if you, I'll show you, one will fit this way but the other one won't fit that way. So I won't be able to get two of the same. So what you need to do is you need to use it this side up. I guess I should have shown you this side before we decided on the colored cardstock, didn't we? It's a perfect color. So, okay, so now you need to tell me which one are we going to put on top. Do you want the really pretty one to be coming forward? Probably, I'm thinking you might, but I could be wrong about that. So I'm going to use liquid glue for this as well. And I'm going to put my liquid glue onto here. And I like my liquid glue because it's out and I know that it's going to give a really good adhesion. It's going to have a really good adhesion, shall I say. Okay, and then that should line up with just a nice little border in there. And I'm going to put the other one on as well. I know it seems a shame to give up this paper. It's so beautiful, but it's gonna look wonderful. And then we're going to line this one up too. Okay, so I need someone to tell me the first person on this one, what are we putting out front and center? Are we going to put the Knight of Navy and the peacock front and center, or are we going to put, I think I know the answer to this one. It's not going to, pretty on top. Betty, oh, Valerie too. Oh, okay, so you guys are way ahead of me. I'm glad. Thank you very much for getting in there. So what I found is the quickest way to do that, or the best way to do this, is not to put my glue here. I'm going to put my glue instead here, and you want a very thin line of it. As close as you can get to that bottom. Go all the way to the point. And the reason why I'm not putting it here, when I've put it here, this point is so tiny. When you get right to the end, if I've gone right to the end with my glue, it sometimes will show. Okay. So you're just going to put that down. If you need to sort of firm it up and maybe give it another bone fold, go ahead and do that. And now this one is going to go right over top. See how easy this is? It looks more complicated than it is, and it's what makes it gorgeous is the paper we use. So same thing here, put your glue on there, line it up so that the bottoms line up, make sure. Okay, so there's our card. Now we have some other choices to make. I'm going to put my glue back in the holder. So let's pull in and we're going to do some stamping now. So that's the card, except for the insert. We're going to do that too. But we have the 2 punches and we have the Christmas Gleaming stamp set. And you've probably all seen this. This is a really pretty set. This is what attracted me in the first place. And I've already taken those cards and put them away. Let's see, I'll show you again. So I just love that. And in fact, I'm thinking this might be what goes on my Christmas card this year. So I'm going to put that there. So we tonight are going to use the Ambi Jolly, and we're going to use this bauble. So I've made this choice, and we're going to use the Merry Christmas as well. And we're going to use this little guy too. So I'm going to put that aside. And what we've also used are the stitch labels. So the stitch labels are, I'm using the 3rd largest and the 4th largest. So I've already picked that. I've already cut that here. And we are going to stamp and we are going to emboss because this is very gorgeous when it's embossed. So I've got the Ambi Jolly this season and I'm going to stamp this. Now tell me where we want it. Do we want it on the left or do we want it on the right? So first person for left or right. And I'm going to make sure I've got my copper embossing powder here. So first person for left or right. I know that seems like a really easy one. So you can even just give me an L or an R too. That would always work. L or R will do it. I'm waiting for that first comment to come in. Left. Thank you, Jennifer. Okay, so it's going to go down and be jolly. I'm going to try not to get my head in there. So I'm just using Versamark. And I am just going to take my embossing powder, put it right over top. And I did not use my embossing buddy on there. I probably should have, but I do have my handy dandy little paintbrush. So if you don't have a little paintbrush, and I've actually cut some of the hairs off of my paintbrush to make it a lot finer, so you can do that too. And I'm going to pick up some of those specks that I shouldn't have had there. If I had used my embossing buddy, they wouldn't be there. How many people use their embossing buddy religiously? They pull it out. I'm usually pretty good, but not always. I know that we probably all have them. So while I'm going to turn my heat gun on here, so I'm probably going to have to talk over it for a bit, but we'll just heat this up. You thought it was going to be difficult to make, Betty. I know it looks more difficult, doesn't it? It's such a simple card, but it is really effective. You do end up using a whole piece of cardstock. That's maybe one of the drawbacks, but when you're making a special card for somebody, I'm not worried about using that amount. And you aren't either. If it's your parents or your sweetie or another significant person in your life. Okay, let me just double check that. Okay, that guy's done. It's the only problem with embossing while you're doing a live is that you can't hear me. Okay, next question is, so here's our card again. Now we're going to put our bauble and we're going to emboss our bauble. So what color do we want on here? Do we want a navy bauble? Or do we want a peacock? Or do we want an olive? So who is... You try at least, Roz. Good for you. And Brenda, yeah, I really do love mine too. It's just sometimes it just doesn't make it onto the table in time. So first person again for color here. So are we going for navy? We got navy. Okay, Jennifer, you're next person. Let me see. You are going to need to pick another color. So think about a favorite color of yours. And let's have somebody who hasn't put their self forward yet. So I've just stamped that again with Versamark, and I'm not so worried about bits here because we are going to punch this out. So again, here comes the heat tool. Sorry about this, ladies. Okay. Oh, Betty, you thought peacock. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see what this looks like. So I don't know. If you happen to wave your gun around when you are embossing, try not to do that. If you hold it in one place until you see it change, then just move on. It actually doesn't take you quite as long, I don't think, to finish it up. Okay, so I'm going to pull in my large ornament. I'm going to push that one to the side, and I'm going to cut it here. And it looks like I didn't leave myself enough room. Let me give myself a Post-it note. Hold on a sec. You always want to have Post-it notes in your room. And I'm sure that most of you have seen this tip before, but if you haven't, just take your Post-it note, stick it on the top of your cardstock that is too small, and then you can just hold that instead of holding the cardstock. So what's nice about this punch is it fits right over top. Okay. And I'm just going to throw that guy away. So here we have this part. Now here's where you need to pick. So we need to go for another piece of another color. So two people, I need two people on this one. Are we going navy in behind? Are we going peacock in behind? Or are we going olive in behind? So let me know which one is yours. And let's get some different folks on there. Roz. Yeah, you know what? I think I need to take a lesson from you, Roz. I'm going to put that on my turntable too. So Roz just said that she puts her embossing buddy right onto her turntable where all the rest of her supplies are. I think that's a great idea. So thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, we still need a color here. So olive, we got Roz saying olive. Okay, did I say two people or did I say one? Well, we're going to say one. I'm going for olive. So I'm just going to glue that down or snail it down. Okay, we had two for olive. Perfect. Betty and Roz. Put this guy down right on top of here and he fits perfectly. I love these stitched nested labels. They've sort of become a staple. And then my guy is going to go on here and I'm going to put that on with dimensionals. Okay, get him on there. And him right there. And this is funny because normally I would be putting this on here first. I'm doing things a little backwards today. Now I'm going, oh, here's another decision point. Aha. Are we going to go this way? So I need two people. Two. I'm going to try and remember two this time. Are we going to go this way or are we going to go this way? So let's say, are we going to go landscape? That's landscape. Or are we going to go portrait? Which way would you like to see it on that card? So portrait, landscape. Which one do you like better? because it's going to make a difference on where we put all of our dimensionals. So let's see who we got going to be giving us some input there. And I said 2 people. So we got 2 people on. Portrait for Rhonda. We have 1 portrait. Do we have 2? That's that way. Do we have 2 people for portrait? Who's my second? Portrait for Betty. Thank you, Betty. Okay. So when you're putting your dimensionals on here, this piece is open, right? So you have to make sure that when you're putting them on that you're not going to be putting any dimensionals that are going to be there. So what I have done is I've done this, and then I've gone in here and put a couple dimensionals there. So that way I don't think I'm going to be interfering with the inside of the card. And I'm also going to get some good adhesion or adherence. Adhesion? Is that? I think that's a word. And then I'm going to try and get this guy centered. There we go. Okay. I think straight would be nice. Okay, there we go. That's straight. So now we just need to, I've got a couple embellishments, but I want to do the inside and show you the inside first. So, oh no, we have another color choice. Okay, we're going to do vanilla, but are we going to do navy? Are we going to do olive? Or are we going to do peacock? Sorry guys, I'm giving you one more choice. So, first person on this guy. And let me know which one. And I'm going to decide the last thing based on the color that you guys decide here. So, are we going to go with this to have a completely matched card? You could do that. You could go like this for one that has some color coordination, shall we say, or some contrast. That's the word I want. Or are we going to go with navy? So we have, oh, we had 2 olives. We're going olive. Olive and olive it is. Okay. So based on that, I am going to put navy ink. So I was going to make you choose again, but I'm making you guys do lots of work. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stamp this bauble in Night of Navy, the smaller one. And I'm just going to put that aside so I don't put any glue on it. And I've already embossed this one. So this is the Merry Christmas. And it comes up, it's so pretty. It's got like little dots in there. I don't know if you can see it really well, but it gets a really nice sheen to it. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to put some little dimensionals on that, and I'm going to put it there. So let me grab my little dimensionals. And this is unusual. I'm doing things backwards tonight because normally I would never put this on until I'd already attached it to my card. So let's put this guy in here. Sorry, is my head getting in there? Sorry, ladies. Okay, so now what we need to do, we need a pull tab. So that's the only thing you need here is you need to be able to somehow get the card out of the inside card out. And so we're going to create a little tab with our Merry Christmas ribbon. So this ribbon has copper on it. And here is where you do want to use some tear and tape. Because this is going to be pulled a little bit, you want to have something that's got some fairly strong grip on it. So I'm just going to lay that down, pull it up again. And I am going to fold this so I can see the Merry. Okay, see there? I've got that. So my Merry needs to be pretty much there. And then I also put one little one on top because I don't want that going anywhere. So this way it is not going to go anywhere. Pull that off of there. So the measurement on this is, let me see, I've got it written down. This is 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. So a little bit different measurement. And the vanilla is 3 5/8 by 5 1/8. And then this just goes right over top with just a very little border on it. Oh, how about, let's do this first. How about we put some snail on there so that the whole thing is going to stick, not just where the ribbon is, because, oh, I'm out. Time for a new one. Sorry. Oh, look at that. This is what you shouldn't have in your kit, is another empty one. Obviously, I have not replenished. Okay, and let's put this down. Make sure we're all going the right way. Try this again. Okay, and then that's just going to fit right in there. Okay, and so what I didn't talk about when I was doing this is that you need to make sure that this is going to fit in behind there, and that is. Okay, so there's our card. Now I just want to make sure that, yeah, so we are down all the way. Ah, here we go. I didn't put my dimensionals far enough here. Where's my little guys? You need to make sure that you have your little dimensionals on that piece as far in and adhered as it can go, because otherwise it's not going to go into the card. So I'm just going to put another one in there. So that's stuck right down because it was getting caught in here. I don't know if you can see, but it was getting caught inside there. So now it's just going to go right in. Okay, so there's our card. Now it's always interesting to see the reveal, whether how different your card looks from my card. So let me grab my card and let's see, we made some of the same choices. So there's my card. Now interesting because it almost looks like I would have cut one piece of paper and put one here and one here, but I didn't. Now, I did say I was going to do some embellishments. I have a ribbon. We can decide if it needs a ribbon or not. So, yay to the ribbon or nay to the ribbon? Let me know. And I thought I had also one of those little guys. Where did he go? Right here. So, yay or nay to the ribbon? Who else? We need somebody just to say yes or no. Yes or no? Anybody got yay to the ribbon? Valerie says, thank you, Valerie. I'm just gonna, he's not, I made him before so that you didn't have to see me try and make him on live. But I do want to tighten him up just a little bit. So this is how I play with mine. I do have a bow maker that my friend Kathy gave me, and her husband makes them. So I'm going to take a glue dot and I'm going to take my ribbon to the glue dot. Go, and I'm just going to put that right on there. And I'm just going to trim those ends. I have a pair of the old scissors. These are the best scissors, and I only use these for ribbon. So they haven't touched a piece of paper. And I'm the only one who uses them too. Okay, so there are our cards, and I am going to put on one of these guys. Where's my take your pick tool? There he is. Okay, and I'm going to put it, I think I'm going to put it up here. Okay, I made the choice on that one. So there we go. There is our card. So what you need to let me know is, I know they look very, very similar. So which one do you like better? Let's say, do you like this, the one we made tonight, or the one that I made? And it's pretty close, except I have a navy stitch nested die, and we have an olive one here. So let me know, because they are pretty darn close. And then while you're thinking that, I'm going to turn you back to me, and I want to show you, actually no, I'm going to show you here. So I have a creativity kit right now that is using the Brightly Gleaming. So what that is, there's a few different varieties. You can get just the PDF if you want. You can get the entire kit, which includes the stamp set and the punches and all the supplies. Or you can get just the cut supplies if you already have this at home. And these are our projects. So we have a small folded card. We have another card with our ornaments or baubles. This one has the hammered on it. Here's another card. So there's actually 5 cards in this one, and then there's a square card. And what you get with the kit is you get a sheet of the foil. So that you probably noticed on that sheet, the foil, and they have, there are beautiful ornaments on it, and it is very, very shiny. Look at how that catches the light. So this is a gorgeous, just a beautiful card with some of that ribbon. And I will make these bows for everybody. And then there's a template to make a tall lidded box, and there's a nice little tag here. So this tag, so I do in this, I cut and score everything for you. You will do the punching, and you'll get a quarter package of the Brightly Gleaming paper, and you'll get everything you need, except you'll need to have the ink. So over on my blog, If you type in bit.ly/Joe's Brightly Gleaming, you will see everything that comes with that kit. Okay, so I just wanted to let you know that. So now let me put you back around and let's just make sure that we have everything done that we needed to do. I think I've got everything done. So I'm here again 2 weeks from now. So I would love to see you all back here, and I'm not too sure what I'm doing then, but I'll figure it out. So I always post this on my blog, so you'll be able to see it there. I do a little bit of editing, and so that it just goes a little bit more smoothly. If there were some bloopers, this one was not too bad. And so I thank you all very much for joining me. I hope you had a good time, and I hope that you're going to make some of these cards and realize that they are not hard at all to make. So have a wonderful evening. I hope you're crafting up a storm and getting ready for your Christmas, and I will see you in 2 weeks. Bye, ladies.